You paid your credit card bill in full this month. Zero balance. No interest charged. You did everything a financial expert would tell you to do, and a company still made money off you. Right now, while you're watching this, here's the number that should bother you. In 2025, Americans paid over $180 billion in credit card interest alone. And that's just the interest. It's not even the biggest number in this story. If credit cards were bad business, companies wouldn't mail out billions of offers a year or approve teenagers with zero income. So let's skip the fluff. There are 3 separate ways your card makes money for someone else, and only one of them involves you missing a payment. Here's engine number 1, and you can see it happen every single day. You buy a $100 jacket with your card. The store doesn't keep all $100. Somewhere between $2 and $3 quietly disappears before it ever reaches them. A toll, charged simply for letting you tap plastic instead of handing over cash. Multiply that by billions of purchases, and that small toll adds up to roughly $120 billion a year, collected in $2 bites nobody notices. That's engine 1. Stick around, because engine 2 is the one that actually explains why your wallet feels lighter than it should. And engine 3 is the one that traps people for over a decade without them realizing it. Most people believe there's only one way credit cards make money: charge interest when you don't pay on time. That belief isn't wrong. It's just incomplete. And that gap in understanding is exactly what keeps the whole system running smoothly. Notice something odd. Rewards cards, the ones offering cashback and airline points, are marketed hardest to people with excellent credit and steady income, the exact people least likely to ever pay interest. If interest were the only profit engine, companies would be begging those customers to leave. Instead, they roll out the red carpet, which means something else entirely is paying for those rewards. Let's follow the money properly, the simple way. That $2 to $3 toll from your jacket purchase is officially called an interchange fee, but just think of it as a toll booth on the payment highway. Every business pays it. And businesses don't quietly absorb costs, they build them into prices. So even the guy paying cash for his coffee is paying a few cents more because the store has to cover what card users cost them. Cash customers are unknowingly subsidizing everyone else's rewards points. Researchers at the National Bureau of Economic Research actually measured this. They found the toll system transfers about $30 billion a year away from cash and debit users toward credit card users. And because credit card use rises with income, roughly $9 billion of that gets funneled specifically from households earning under $150,000 a year to households earning more. Your grandmother paying cash for groceries is quietly helping fund someone else's frequent flyer miles. Now for engine 2, the invisible one, hiding in your own brain. Behavioral researchers have spent decades studying something called the pain of paying. Handing over physical cash triggers a small, real sense of loss in your brain. You feel it leave your hand. Tapping a card skips that feeling almost entirely. Multiple studies have found people consistently spend more when paying by card instead of cash. The exact amount varies by study and setting, but the direction never changes. It's not an accident that cards are thin, quiet, and require zero physical effort. Frictionless spending isn't a design flaw, it's the design. Let me introduce you to someone. We'll call her Maria. Maria pays her card in full every month. She's proud of it. She earns 2% cash back and treats it as free money. What Maria doesn't realize is that her rewards are partly funded by the toll her favorite coffee shop pays every time she taps. A toll baked into the price of everyone's coffee, including the customers who can't afford a rewards card in the first place. But Maria isn't the one this system is really built around. because underneath engines 1 and 2 sits engine 3, the one that turns a small mistake into a decade-long trap. Meet a different version of the story. Same coffee shop, different customer. Let's call him Sam. Sam has a $2,000 balance on a card charging 22% interest, which is close to today's national average. His statement offers a minimum payment of around $50. $50 feels manageable, responsible even. So Sam pays it, month after month, feeling like he's handling things. Here's what the math actually does behind the scenes. Paying only the minimum on that balance takes Sam close to 12 years to clear it completely. By the time he's done, he'll have paid more than $2,600 in interest, more money than he originally borrowed. The debt he thought he was managing ends up costing more than the debt itself. And Sam isn't rare. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, about 15% of cardholders pay only the minimum every single month, the highest share recorded in the last decade. The minimum payment button isn't designed to get you out of debt fast. It's designed to keep the relationship going as long as possible while making you feel like you're doing something responsible. So here's the deeper pattern hiding underneath everything we've just walked through. Credit card companies aren't really in the business of lending money. They're in the business of managing human psychology at scale. The rewards, the sleek metal cards, the instant approval, the friendly minimum payment due. Every piece is engineered around one idea: make spending feel painless and make debt feel manageable, even when the math says otherwise. And the CFPB's own data reveals exactly who wins and who loses inside this system. Cardholders with the highest credit scores pay off almost their entire balance every month, essentially untouched by interest. Cardholders with lower or average credit scores typically pay off 15% or less of their balance monthly, meaning they're the ones carrying the debt, absorbing the interest, and funding the rewards that flow to everyone else. The system isn't neutral. It quietly moves money from people already struggling toward people who are already doing fine. Here's a question worth sitting with for a second. If the company profits whether you're careful or careless, rich or struggling, on time or late, then the real question was never, how do I outsmart my credit card? It's, why was I ever trying to win a game the house built to always profit? Casinos let you win small on purpose. That 2% cashback is the free drink. The frictionless spending, the friendly minimum payment, the 11.5 years, that's the house edge. So what do you actually do with all of this? Not fear, awareness, and 3 shifts. First, stop treating your card as a rewards machine and start treating it as a business tool that occasionally pays you a small commission for using it exactly the way it wants you to. Second, if you use a card, the only version of winning that actually works is paying the entire balance every single month, no exceptions. The instant you carry a balance, the math flips against you immediately. There is no clever workaround. No, just this 1 month. Third, get suspicious of how easy spending feels. That ease is the product, not an accident. Reintroduce friction on purpose. Check your balance before you buy. Track spending weekly instead of glancing at it once a month. You're not up against your own willpower. You're up against a system built by people who study behavior for a living. So build a system back. You started this video believing your credit card was just a convenient way to pay for things. Now you know it's one of the most carefully engineered financial products ever built. One that profits from a fee you never see, a psychological trigger you never notice, and a responsible-looking minimum payment that can quietly cost more than the debt itself. The card in your wallet hasn't changed, but how you see it just did, and that difference is worth more than any cashback percentage they'll ever offer you.